Alright guys, how's it going today? So, we got another half-inch of rain last night. Actually, this morning, about 5. We got a half-inch here, and then about an hour south of here, they got possibly up to 4 inches of rain. There was a pretty big storm system coming through, but we just got the tail end of it, and that neighbor's rooster is crowing. I didn't think they had roosters, but I guess they do. So, anyways, like I said, the title of the video will pretty much give it away. That has not been out of my blazer since I bought that thing. Bought that thing, a couple years ago, maybe? Well, not even that, probably. And it's always sat in the back of my Tahoe. And, well, it's in my shop today. Because all my... Shut up, rooster. Because all my main tools are obviously in here. I don't keep all my tools in the shop. So this is my portable set. So it just turned into my main set, obviously. I have some tools here in the shop, but tools in there, and then there's tools under that blue thing. You can remove that blue guy, and then there's more stuff under there. But all my sockets and stuff are up here, because obviously I use that the most. So, yeah. And you're going to probably hear a rooster crowing in the background. But, yeah, so it finally happened. I finally this took some doing because I had to figure it out, and obviously I'm still not 100% done. But, yeah, so we finally got the PTO out of the little A. I need some more like side lighting too. That's what I freaking need. That's why I got the headlamp, because I know I'm probably going to need extra lighting than what the overheads are giving me. Not giving me enough. So, but unfortunately, I give you some backstory on this. I had to take... In order to, well, I mean, I guess you could have removed it all as all one big unit, but it was more convenient. So this tractor has the belt pulley PTO on it as well, which would be right here. That's what this gear does. It runs your pulley. So I had to take that off and get rid of that, and then you could, remove your remaining bolts and get rid of that and take that off. Now, in order to do that, you have to drain your 80-90 oil in the rear end. Now, I think you can drain just the PTO, but I drained pretty much everything except the axle, the bottom half of your axles, because they have, basically like an oil pan on each side of the axle for each wheel. That, I don't know, that looked okay. I'm not going to really mess with that too much right now because it's not leaking. It's not really causing an issue. But I should have changed the 80-90 oil on it when we even got it fired up for the first time, because that had water in it galore. It was milkshake colored. It was horrible stuff. So it wasn't any good. It wasn't really even... Shut up, rooster. It wasn't even doing the tractor really any good. And here I've been adding to it because it was low. So while it was low, one, because this seal leaks, your PTO seal leaks, and then now the belt pulley seal is leaking. Well, I don't have that seal. It's a separate. It's a different seal than what I have. This is for your PTO. That's for this. So, but yeah, and I have, of course, the gasket that goes, between your tractor and your main PTO. I have this. Looks like this has seen better days. Of course, it's been torn, but that's probably because I had to tear it out. I actually couldn't get this thing to budge at first. I even with all the bolts removed, it was seized on there, stuck on there pretty good. And I figured, probably hasn't been off since. I honestly don't think any of this has been touched since the tractor was built. But it's out now. But so what I had to do in order to get this to move, I had to smack it with a sledgehammer a couple times, and I eventually got it to pop free. And then I just went behind it with a pry bar and started prying it off. So the belt pulley thing, that came off really easy. That's only held on with 4 bolts. So that was pretty simple to come off. It wasn't a huge deal. So, but, yeah, unfortunately, it's not only just the, I did discover a problem, but I don't know when it'll actually show its ugly face. It'll probably be next year, probably. But well, when I drained the oil out, you have a little side drain hole plug thing that you can remove and drain your oil out. So, well, when it started draining out, I stuck my finger in the hole, just again to feel for like metal and stuff to make sure that we weren't having any type of major problems, and we are. So I don't know what this is. My uncle knows possibly what it is. Well, I mean, I know what it is now looking at it, but this is only just a small sample of what's still stuck in the tractor. I haven't gone over there yet and to really clean it out. Oh, and to clean out the old oil, because I wanted to give it a flush, and I don't have any. I mean, I got a little bit of 80-90 oil left, but I don't think that's going to be enough to actually fill this tractor back up. So I'm going to have to get another jug of that. So I ran 3 gallons of used engine oil through it, and I flushed out whatever gunk and stuff was sitting at the bottom, for water and any material. Well, possibly, from what my uncle thinks, it's possibly second gear is going out. Apparently when the great-grandparent, the grandpa, as I would always just call him anyway, but he's my great-grandfather, I guess, whatever. He told my uncle that, when he was getting close to retiring there, apparently he could tell that second gear was getting weak, because second gear was his main mowing gear. That's what he ran when he was cutting hay with it. So I don't know. Second gear feels fine to me, but fourth gear seems a little wonky. But nonetheless, it's a gear. So here's a chunk of it. And there's more of it still in the tractor. I haven't pulled it out. I got to get a pick and pick it out. But that's a gear. And to confirm that it's a gear, that's a tooth off a gear. So somewhere a gear has shattered. And now obviously this is all original. This is 1940s stuff right here. But I think it's fourth gear, but my uncle said that it was second gear that was getting kind of weak, or it was getting wore down. I don't know. All the gears seem fine except fourth gear. Like I said, fourth gear seems to be like when you would put it in the fourth gear and then you would let off the clutch. Now, I always tried to be gentle with it, because actually if you're gentle with the clutch and you get the tractor to just start creeping, it actually seems to take off easier and it takes less horsepower. Whereas if you just, kind of let off the clutch hard, then you're really pulling the tractor down. You're really giving the tractor a load. Well, I feel like if you're easy with it, you kind of baby into taking off. It's easier on the gears, and it's just overall easier on the engine. To me, that's what it seems like works for it. So, but fourth gear, you could still kind of feel it like as you would ease into it, or even go to an idle. There was something wrong with that gear, because it was, when you would take off, you could almost feel like it was skipping, because it was bouncing the tractor a little bit. It wasn't horrible, but it was like it was skipping a tooth or two, you know. And then if you went to an idle, but you were still in fourth gear, you could hear a lot of clanking going on, and then you would kind of get that skipping action again. So I think it's fourth gear that went out. It's still going, but it's weaker now. And then I found this in there. I don't know what the hell this would have come off, but this looks like possibly the end of a spring. I don't know if there's any springs in there or not. That looks like a hook. And then that broke off, and then it got mushed between a gear, I suppose, or or something. I don't really know, but it looks like at the end of a spring. So, but when I saw this was like, yeah, this is definitely a bigger problem, because I was originally finding a lot of small pieces, which again could just be a sign that things are starting to go south. It's getting wore out. This is a sign that we've just had a massive fail in it, but you can see all the hairline cracks and everything in it. I don't know how to get the lighting for you guys, but there's a lot of hairline cracks and stuff in that, so you can imagine what the rest of the gear is like. But regardless if it's second gear or fourth gear, it's not going to get a new gear in it anytime soon, because that's a massive job, because you're going to have to split the tractor, take the transmission out, and then tear the transmission apart, and then start replacing gears, which would probably still be pretty simple in that kind of a tractor. I'm not that far ahead in mechanic skills. This is already borderline to what I can handle. I mean, if I rebuild this a little bit, I guess it'll boost my confidence a little bit, and I'll pick up a skill or two. But and then I got to rebuild, well, I don't want to say rebuild, but I got to replace the seals in the pulley shaft as well. That's still at the farm, because I don't have the parts for anyway. I think I might have a couple of parts, but I think it's just the gaskets. But I don't have the seal. So I have to order the seals. Well, they're $15 a piece. And apparently from what Steiner says, that if you had the original seal in there, that apparently the factory seals are thicker, and apparently these are not quite as thick. So you have to run two. You have to pound in two of them in order to fix your leak. So if that's the route that I have to go, well, then I want to have both seals. So I thought I had another leak here, but I guess not. So I'm not going to be fixing the pulley anytime soon. I mean, it will be in the next probably couple of weeks, but I want to fix this and get it back on the tractor as soon as possible, because obviously the rear end is just open to everything. I mean, I have the tarp on it, but that's only going to do so much. It's not going to keep the snow from blowing in. Like, if I don't get this fixed before winter, I think I'll have it fixed before winter, as long as I don't break more than what I need to. So if I can put that back on, then I'll just have a small hole. It'll be a much smaller hole. Now, yes, the weather and stuff can still get in, but at least I could, maybe like just throw some Gorilla Tape over it or something and seal it up that way. It would be fine. But this would take a lot of Gorilla Tape, to seal up. So, but I'm going to try to work on it throughout the day today. I would videotape it, but this is all new to me. I know some of you guys probably like tear down and rebuild videos, and I like them as well. I enjoy watching people do that. But the thing is those people, they've done it before. They're comfortable putting this all on camera now. So, I mean, like, I'm not against it, but I'm just, you know, it's easier for me to focus on what I'm doing. Since I've never messed with this before, I need to figure it out, and there's nothing really here. From what it looks like, all I got to do is, looks like, just take this bolt out, this bolt, this gear should come off, and then there's possibly a snap ring behind that, and then that should allow, once I pull the snap ring out, that should allow the shaft to come out, and then I can pound out the seal, and then pound in my new one. And I don't think I have a socket this size, so I might have to go to the farm and get my uncle's sockets, because you want to pound that in evenly, and the only way I think I can do it is with a giant socket. I don't have giant sockets. I know my uncle does, because he's got that 3/4 inch, you know, sockets and stuff, whatever. But I don't think my sockets here are bigger enough. I don't think they're big enough. So I got some pretty big ones, but they're not big enough. So I want to do it right. I don't want to frick up. So this is why it's hard for me to do recordings of repairs, because I do a lot of just dicking around. I do a lot of driving around looking for parts and tools. If I don't have this tool, then I got to go to the farm and see if I have it. And see, like I said, no, I possibly might have to go to the farm and get a giant socket so I can pound that seal out. Wow, again, I don't have giant sockets here in the shop. Now, I could order me a jumbo set of sockets, or a 3/4 inch drive socket doohickey setup, whatever. But they're $260, maybe even $300. See, we already have one, so I don't need to buy we only really need one set. So, yeah, I like to have my own here in this shop too, but this is supposed to be a workshop, but as you can tell, it's turned into more of a freaking storage building now. But that's why I want to get another shed put up at the farm, so I can put Big Red in there, put the snowblower in there. I got to get that parts building going so I can get all my oils and stuff out of here and get it put in there. So, but yeah, so I'll probably do updates, I guess. I don't know, throughout the day, I guess. I don't know. I'm not going to be in a big hurry to do this. This is definitely a rainy day project, and well, it rained last night or this morning, so I don't know if it's going to rain anymore today or not, but she's getting kind of muggy out, that's for sure. And I'm wearing my coveralls, and I'm actually getting kind of hot and sweaty, but there's no wind. The only wind that I'm going to get is from my little fan when I turn that on, and that's all I'm going to get for wind. So, but I don't know. So, but you can tell she's been used. I don't know if this is a good sign or not, but this is your shaft that powers. Well, I guess it comes off. Well, it's only one shaft, so technically this feeds both. So, but your main shaft, I guess. Anyway, you can tell she's been getting hot. She's got a burn mark here, so she's been ran hard her lifetime to get burn marks, hot spots in it. But I don't think the shaft's not bent or anything, so I think it's fine. The welds aren't broken, from what I can tell. It's all perfectly fine. I don't think this will come out. It doesn't need to. This can stay behind. I just need to get this big gear out. That's all I need to do. This big shaft can stay behind. It'll probably come out if I take these bolts out. But like I said, I don't really want to mess with this, because this is not the problem. This is the problem. And, well, if I had a parts washer, which is something else I would like to have at some point, as a parts washer, I'd soak that son of a bitch and everything and clean this up. Because this is the only thing that still has a lot of the internet or the farmall red still on it. Everything else has been rusted over. The only reason why this never rusted over was because it had oil over it all its life, and it obviously repelled any moisture, so the paint's still perfectly fine for the most part, but I'm not really going to wash it all that much either. I'm not going to really clean it. It's still leaking oil, I can see that. There must still be oil. Yeah, there's a little bit of oil. So, but, what is this? Oh, that's just a piece of gasket. I don't care about that. I'll have to clean the surface up, you know, when I put the gasket on, and yada, 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 freaking yeah. So, let's see here. Another thing I wish I had was gloves. I do, but they're not the right kind for what we do. So, yeah, I'm going to need my headlamp. I can't really see good enough for this. That's why I brought it. But yeah, all I should have to do is take this big gear off, which is just held in with a bolt. And then if there's a snap ring behind here, take the snap ring out. The shaft should slide through. And then pound the seal out, pound the new one in, and then just reverse everything again. As long as I don't really have to touch too much like this, I'll rather just leave this behind. Yeah. So here's your engagement set up here. Here's your lever. That's one nice thing about these farmalls is that your PTO lever is right here. To turn your PTO on and off. Obviously with like the 15-inch sticks, you got all that linkage from your PTO, which is still pretty much like this, except now it goes up and around and loop-de-loop and goes up into the cab, and then, you know, you got a lever up in the cab. Here it's just right to the PTO, you know, it's just right to the thing. You don't have all that linkage and crap in the way. So very simple. If your linkage failed, well, here it is. You know, of course it would suck because you still have to pull the whole freaking unit out again to rebuild your linkage, but there ain't much there to break. So it looks like it'd be a very simple repair, which hopefully I don't ever have to do. But I don't know. But that's what I'm going to try to do today anyway, is try to get this out, which is just a bolt. Which again, that's why I brought my tools here, because I don't know what size, you know, socket I need, and yada freaking yeah. So, yeah. So, but yeah, that's probably going to be it for now. I still haven't even eaten dinner yet, and I should probably go do that. I just wanted to get set it up. And I was hoping to wear my overalls today because I wrecked. Trying to get to remove all of this, I ended up wrecking another shirt. So, but I wasn't wearing this either at the time, which I should have been. But I know being here in the shop, it'll just happen again. I'll end up wrecking another shirt. So, but whatever. So that's what's going to be on today's thing to do, is to get that gear out of there, and then hopefully replace the seal, and then that'll be that, and I can put it all back together. So, but yeah, I'm going to have to get another jug of 80/90. It's kind of weird though, because I think I had, when I was cleaning out the transmission, what I would do is I ran 1 gallon through it, just, you know, it's like a flush. But I figured, oh, there's probably still tons of moisture and shit in here. So what I ended up doing is I ended up putting the drain plug back in, and I filled it up with 2 gallons of, you know, used engine oil. And when you look in the fill plug, you can see actually right down into the transmission, you can see your oil level and stuff. It wasn't even halfway up to the top. Like it wasn't even halfway. I was like, wow, how many gallons would it take to actually fill this stupid thing? But I mean, it's not supposed to take that much apparently. Apparently it's only supposed to take like 6 or 7 quarts, which I don't know. So, but of course the PTO will take a little bit. So they say I think it's 5 quarts, but then if you want to, you can fill the PTO separately, or you can just overfill the transmission by an extra quart or 2, and then as you run everything, then it'll force it through. But you will be running this dry for a little bit until it does start pushing oil through it. So, but I don't know. At least the gears look like they're still in pretty good shape here. So I don't really have to do too much here. Everything looks perfectly fine. I mean, there is some wear there, but it still seems like it's grabbing pretty damn good. So a little bit of a slop there, but she's got a lot of hours on her, so she's got a lot of mowing hours. So can't really blame it for having the wear and tear that it does, because she's cut a lot of hay in her day and a lot of roadside ditches and stuff. So, but yeah. So I guess that's much it for now, guys. I'm gonna take off. I'm gonna go, I guess, have something to eat, and then decide if I'm gonna still continue to wear these stupid overhauls. I probably should, so I don't wreck another freaking shirt. And then maybe I'll bring you guys back, like in a different video. Like I'll just, I don't know. Maybe I'll make little clips here and there or something, but I don't know. At this point, it kind of just is what it is. So, but yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to take off. So I guess have a good day and stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Take her easy.